All right, so subscribe to our. All right.
Alright.
Subscribe to our channel on YouTube, and please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button, like and subscribe, share, all of that good stuff.
Hello. Guys, welcome once again to the Window Podcast. My name is Joshua. Josh. Some people know me as Jesse.
You know she's Jessie.
People from school, they used to call me
Right.
Jesse. I don't
That's
even
weird.
know why.
Cool.
Well, I know why, because it's my last name, but like they could have just called me my first name and it would have been
Your last
fine.
name's Jessie.
Yeah.
Okay, no, we don't.
Pronounced Jesse.
Yeah, well,
It's
it's
not
pronounced
pronounced
Jesse.
Jesse.
It's not. Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, it is.
I was like, okay, wow, okay.
How did you think it was pronounced?
I hadn't thought about it, but I'm not gonna lie. Looking at the spelling, that doesn't make sense. What tribe are you from?
I'm Ashanti. My name is a
Are you
typical
Ashanti?
Ashanti
I've never
name.
heard that name. I've never heard that name in my life.
So when you see GYAMFI, how do you say it?
Don't see.
Exactly. So then, how does say my name not make sense?
Jassy. No, but I'd say Jassy.
Jemfi. Do you say
Jamfi.
Jamfi?
Yeah.
Do you say Jamfi?
You say I always thought it was.
Exactly.
Yes,
It makes
yeah.
complete sense.
Huh?
It makes complete sense to anyone that's Ashanti.
Mm.
Blame my mother. It's okay.
That's the longest name introduction we've probably done.
Yeah, no, but
go
obviously
on.
a bit of background history.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. Now everyone knows how to say your name.
Mm.
There's a few people like me that wouldn't have known. Hi, it's Joelle. Hey, people call me Joelle. I don't like all my other nicknames, so yeah. Hey.
For Lauren. Hi. You guys already know.
Fantastic.
They already know. Brilliant. Okay, guys. We're just gonna get straight into it. We're not beating about the bush today. We're just in a very serious topic. Topic of extreme importance. Something potentially error defining. Culture shifting. We gotta talk about WAP.
Okay.
And when you say WAP, you gotta is the word enunciate the P, WAP. Right?
Okay.
Or else you're not saying it right.
Wow.
I don't want the WAP. I just want the fetty.
Don't do that again, please. Don't do that again. Please. Don't do that
Oh,
again.
I'm sorry.
Now, when did WAP drop? It wasn't this Friday. It was the Friday before. Was it? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's out there now.
Yeah.
I remember hearing it was coming out. I remember hearing Cardi B and Meg had a song coming out. And I remember Cardi B doing a video beforehand, basically saying what the song was going to be about. And I also remember not thinking anything of it. I just thought Cardi B, Meg, yeah.
Fits the brand.
Yeah, I just thought they're just going to do their thing and that's it. It's just going to go and come. Then the song dropped and it seemed like a lot of people had a lot to say about it, which to me personally was surprising. I haven't listened to the song yet. I've heard parts of it, but I haven't listened. Do you know what this song reminds me of? It reminds me of, do you remember Anaconda by Nicki Minaj?
Yeah.
I made a big statement. Big
I
statement.
had so much like the
Yeah.
Anaconda vibes are off the roof. I was like, wow, like this is basically the same video.
Yeah, it reminds me of that song because that was another song that I still haven't listened to the whole song, like never in my whole life. But I've
Really?
heard so much talk about it. Like people have
Mm.
talked about it, talked and talked and talked and talked. And I think this is one of those songs where the conversation is bigger than the song itself. Although I think the song is doing fairly well on the charts.
WAP
Yeah,
or
it's doing pretty
Anaconda.
well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I think what I've seen a lot is a lot of male personalities in hip hop and rap coming out and basically saying either the one line is that this is like it's not even art, it's not even artistic, it's just like meh. And the other line is all female rappers talk about the same thing. City girls, who else do they lump in that bag? Meg, Cardi B. It's all about the same thing. It's all about, you know, what the WAP can do. Scamming.
Yeah, ripping and running, scamming, all of
Birkins,
that, all of the above. Yeah. So
Birkins, yeah.
yeah.
And so on and so forth. That's the two main, I guess, lines of conversation that I've come across. Have you guys heard anything else?
I think I haven't really been paying attention to any kind of like backlash. I only saw one video of one guy set talking about his daughters and like one day he's gonna have daughters and that these are gonna be the role models. And I was just like,
Yeah, that's another angle. So again, it'll be something along the lines of yeah. So one of the that's another angle. So one of the things that they'll pick up about it is how it morally speaking it's very questionable. It doesn't align with upstanding moral values. That kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, me personally,
oh,
like I said, I've never listened to the song. It's never going to be a song that I'm going to listen to.
Why?
But
it doesn't
from the lines I've heard, it doesn't sound like it's a song that's going to be of any interest to me, right?
He ain't got one, so
Huh?
you don't need to be
Do
listening
you
to this song.
Have you guys heard Safari done a remix? Safari,
I didn't
Nicki
hear that.
Minaj's
He's
ex.
a twat and he needs to get off. Like, what the heck? Why?
He's done a bad remix. You can figure
What
that
does it
out on
mean?
your own.
What does it stand for?
Bad.
Oh.
That is
But yeah, I'm not listening to that either. I'm not
Right,
listening
yeah.
to that either. My earphones are too sanctified. My earphones are too sanctified for that, so I can't let them
Amen.
run through the earphones. But yeah. Even though it's a song I'm never going to listen to,
Yeah.
and I don't listen to Cardi B, I don't listen to Meg the Stallion. I did find the criticism odd just because, first of all, Meg the Stallion has been talking this talk for ages now, since she came out the gate. So I didn't see how they took it up to a degree now that was too hot to handle. Like you guys invited Meg in as she was, so you can't now turn around and, you know, act like
both Meg and Cardi. Like, Cardi literally like raps about sex, stripping.
Yeah, she come on, Cardi, yeah, that's like what she came in on. That's the energy she came in on.
Yeah.
So to turn around now, it was just a bit like okay, and then it was just like, I mean, male rappers talk about very bad stuff, like even including
drugs.
Yeah, like I think male rappers talk about worse stuff, to be honest with you.
I just feel like the whole statement around like women not creating art that is meaningful or blah blah. At the end of the day, there's lots of female rappers that create great stuff. Nicki has bars on bars on bars. She talks about all kinds of things. People won't appreciate. Like, I feel like if we look back at Nicki back in the day, we look at all her different characters that she had. Like Roman was sick. I was obsessed with Roman as a youngin or whatever. Like, we have some sick rappers out there. No one wants to talk about Young MA. No one wants to talk about Lady London. People like, okay, if you rap, there's lots out there. You just don't care about it. You care about the city girls. You care about Meg. You care about Cardi.
I think it's an interesting thing with male and female rap, right? Because with a lot of male rappers, they have a lot of female fans. They have a lot of female listeners. Like someone like Drake, for example, he may even have more female listeners than he does male listeners, right? Yeah. Whereas when you go to female rappers, unless the guy is gay, it's very unlikely you'll get that many guys listening to female rappers, right?
Yeah.
And then another thing is, like, yeah, a lot of male rappers are saying crazy stuff that I don't think a normal civilian would support, right?
Yeah.
But at the very, very peak top of the rap game, at least right now, you have rappers that are, for want of a better word, saying stuff of substance. So you have people like Cole, you have people like Kendrick, right?
Yeah.
You had Chance the Rapper for a while, but I think people are beginning to hate him.
Basically, who's your top three?
With female rap, with top female rap. Sorry, I'm coming back.
Yeah.
But with the top of female rap, it seems like all the top female rappers are the same. That's how it comes across to me.
Because
so I think that's why the conversation
female rap doesn't sell. Conscious female rap won't sell.
So why does conscious male rap sell?
I think it's the same.
Conscious male rap doesn't really sell as well as
you can't say that when Kendrick Lamar. You can't say that when Kendrick Lamar sells and J. Cole sells.
Kendrick will do both though, and even J. Cole has had to adjust himself.
Kendrick is not he's not innocent of like making like statements that are a little bit out there in regards to like, I don't know, fucking Shireen or whatever. But like generally speaking,
but generally when you think of Kendrick Lamar, you think of a conscious rapper. There's not a single female rapper that you can say that is at the top that you can call even remotely conscious.
It's because people don't listen to the conscious songs. Nicki has songs that you might describe as conscious. I think don't care for the song.
I think people would class like No Name as someone who does spit something
but she's not
quite
at the
conscious.
Top.
Yeah, but I just don't think
I think there's she has a certain level of popularity that makes that a little bit debatable. I think she has popularity that makes that debatable.
As an activist, but not as a rapper.
Well,
no one's listening to No Name.
Maybe it's the music I listen
to. No one's listening to No Name. No Name don't chart. She don't chart.
If we want to say like who's the top 3 female rappers at the moment?
3 female rappers.
Yeah. You know who that is.
I haven't listened to a female rap song in years.
It's definitely Nicki, Cardi, and Meg right now.
Yeah, basically.
Maybe you can say Sweetie and the City Girls might be like honorable mention.
No, I think Sweetie is not even in the conversation. I think City Girls is like just the tier below.
Tap in.
No. Sweetie has she's got more ground to cover.
She definitely has the ground to cover. She hasn't been around as long as like definitely I get what you mean. But if we're talking about like who's popping at the moment, at the moment, Sweetie is defo like everyone loves Sweetie right now.
She looks great.
She does look great.
Amazing.
um,
That's true.
yeah, I just don't think that conscious female rap will sell because the only way that female rap became anything was when it started to wrap itself around sex.
but
That's it.
but I find that really hard to get my head around, seeing as the audience for female rap is probably 90% females.
Then okay, so for example, we talk about these songs, let's talk about sex, blah blah, cool, whatever. And then like for example, I really love Ivorian Doll. Not so much about her as a person, but I love the bops, I love the songs. And she's not really talking about sex. Some of the songs that are really blown up from like Cardi, for example, was what's that song?
Oh, that yellow.
Are you guys gonna be able to tell me? Huh?
About that yellow?
Well, that yellow, there we go, fantastic. So like people will know all the words of that, and it's a more so, those songs are more so about beef between girls, and I feel like the reason why that can't relate or whatever is because guys aren't let into women's worlds. It's the same reason why a lot of everyone will find male comedians funny, like men and women. But female comedians, it tends to be just women that are like, oh, I get that. And a lot of people say that female comedians only talk about women's stuff. And I feel like that's because, or the reason why people perceive it that way, is women are told to, like, we're kind of programmed to also want to be involved in men's lives and be like interested in the stuff that they're interested in and find out more stuff about them and what they're doing and making it relatable. Like, we want to relate to men. Our men are like, we're here doing our own thing, having our own jokes, doing our own thing. We don't care about jokes about periods and jokes about sitting in the hair salon, and we don't care for those jokes. Like, you're not made to enter women's worlds that often. That's my perception. That's how I feel. You're both looking at me like.
I'm just trying to understand why the female audience doesn't want conscious rap from the way it looks on the surface.
Well, maybe
I don't think the culture allows for female conscious rap, bro.
Yeah,
Right now, that's the only thing that women do want to hear about is WAP.
Because I think even Cardi B made this point. I think she tried to point to a song where she was at least attempting to be conscious, right? And she said, "You guys didn't want to hear that, so I went right back to what I do best."
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah. On her album, I loved her last album. She did a lot of like really interesting songs about her life, about her getting cheated on, like all kinds of stuff. Like, it was very like from her heart. People rated the Bodak Yellows. People rated the sex song about strippers. But when she was there talking about her heartbreak and like wanting to be treated right and stuff like that, no one was rapping that and screaming that from the top of their lungs. So I hear that. But I feel like the same thing with male conscious rap. I feel like it's the same.
Yeah, I think it translates, but it's just on a smaller scale. So for male conscious rap, there's an audience for it, and there are people that listen to it, but it's just not taken in. Like, by
the funny thing is
for the female audience, it's pretty much the same thing. But that female audience it's not in of itself expansive anyway.
Yeah, a lot of girls don't even listen to female rap.
To rap.
To rap in general.
So you're not gonna get females listening to conscious female rap.
It's just it's too much of a concentrated group of people.
I feel like most females go to male rappers for their conscious rap. I think most females, when they listen to music, they go to male rappers for their conscious rap.
Because there isn't a lot of female conscious rap. If there was more,
not necessarily because there isn't a lot of it. I just think, and this is a different conversation altogether.
Yeah.
But I think that a lot less women rap than men, right?
Yeah.
So that's number one. So cool. And obviously, the less people are doing something, the less chance of having a talented pool, right? It
So you
doesn't
don't
always
feel
work
female
that way.
rappers are as
It
good.
doesn't always work that way because you have like countries with millions of people, but they're rubbish at football. Like, and then you have really tiny countries, but they're great at football. But generally, the more people you have to choose from, the more talent you're going to get out of it. And you know, men have been rapping for 50 years. I'm not sure. Let me say now, I don't really know the history of female rap, but when I think of female rappers, I start in the 90s.
Yeah.
Right. So that's a head start, and a lot of actually most male rap started off as conscious rap, what we would define as conscious rap, and then drifted into when gang culture really got big and all of that, drifted into sort of that type of gangster rap, right? So the foundation of it and everything. Whereas female rap actually came in talking about the same stuff as rap. From what I know, in the 90s, you think of Lil Kim.
I'm gonna have it. I'm having a little look. Female
you can
rappers,
have a look,
right?
just to hold me to account. I might be wrong.
No, because I'm thinking the first person that came to my mind about female rap was Queen Latifah.
That's a good point.
That's a good
point. That's a good point. Queen Latifah, yeah, she was one of the first, definitely.
And you have Little Mama. You have like Dead Loaf. Like this is what I mean by people just don't know who female rappers are.
Dej Loaf is not a good person to put on that.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that she's good. I'm just saying like if we're gonna talk about people, like we're gonna say that all women rap about is sex, and like then no, like we like
no. As for that conversation, we're not doing that. We know there's good female rap. Like I know good female rappers, like just equally as good as top male rappers. Not equally as good as male rappers, equally as good as top male rappers. And I'm talking skill wise. Rhapsody, skill wise, she's definitely equally as good. No Name is pretty good. I like one of them. Can't remember her what the album's called, but one of her albums is really good. The one with the picture of like drawing of her, but yeah, what the point I'm trying to make is I think male rappers are more skilled than female rappers, right? And I do believe that conscious rap specifically requires a certain amount of skill. I don't think I know of any conscious rappers that aren't really good at rapping.
Like I don't know. In order to garner any sort of audience for conscious rap, you actually need to be good at rapping.
Right. So I think that's one of the biggest
problem obstacles. Another problem is obviously the current top female rappers in terms of like, I don't know, sale wise or popularity wise or whatever. I personally don't think they're just that good.
Yeah, most of them aren't that
Who's not
skill wise?
Who are we talking about?
As in the top three. The top three that you said. And we can extend that to the top 5.
Cardi fine, whatever. Cardi raps for money. She don't rap because she loves music. You think
Meg Thee Stallion is a good rapper?
I've seen her freestyles, yeah. I think she's a good rapper. I think she just doesn't do like all this. First of all, if we're going to talk about good rap, are you talking about like wordplay? You're talking about flow? You're talking that's what we're speaking on. Because if she has her wordplay, it's just not on the stuff that you guys care about. Like, this is where I'm like, I just feel like female rap is not going to be widespread because, first of all, most women don't listen to rap. And then the women that do, like, that's their little thing. And then men don't want to listen to it. Like, Bodak Yellow, as much as people are like,
look,
the fact that Bodak Yellow was actually a male rapper's song that she took.
That doesn't help.
And it became the biggest rap song for a female ever. It's quite interesting in itself.
It's embarrassing. Like, she bit it like in a crazy way. It doesn't help. But
it doesn't help. No.
but I think female rappers, female conscious rap needs to transcend that barrier of like, all right, oh, male rap, people don't want to listen
It
to
what I'm telling you guys, until men start having interest in women's lives in general, it's not going to.
But conscious rap is not gendered. Like conscious rap is just
But
conscious
women
rap.
care. Women no. Male conscious rap talks about male life from a male perspective, but women
Nah,
male's perspective.
I can't rock with that. I can't rock with that.
I mean,
Song
I don't know.
about,
I don't. Let's okay. If we're looking at like at male conscious rap, would you say you couldn't resonate with the things that were said in Kendrick Lamar's "To Pimp a Butterfly"?
I'm not saying I can't resonate. I'm literally saying the exact opposite of that. I'm saying women resonate with things that men do. We hear about like if we hear about
I'm saying if a female was to say all that stuff and articulate it in such a
female
manner,
perspective,
not a female perspective, because I don't think it has anything to do necessarily with a female. It's about the human perspective.
Yeah, it's just about being conscious of what's going on in the world. That's it.
No. I just
we know what you're doing. We know you're trying to.
If we were to speak, I'm honestly not like. Even if we were to speak, for example, if I was to speak on race, like if I was like make a song on race and my blackness, and you were to make a song on your blackness, say with the same skill level, I'm 100% telling you that more people will listen to your experience of it and resonate with you more than a woman. Reason being, the male perspective is overall what's seen as the universal perspective, where everyone's able to relate. If we're going to talk about race, for example, from the male perspective, a woman will sit there and be like, yeah, like I understand the male struggle. I understand what's going on there. I want to support that. I want to be there for that. We already know, if we're going to look at it from the other way, that there's not going to be as much energy come from the male side of things to my song, because the things I'm going to be speaking on they're going to be perceived as gendered. That's just what it is. Like you can speak about it like it's nothing. Like we can, like if we talk about like Childish Gambino and This Is America, I can listen to This Is America and be like, yeah, that's sick. But I'm telling you, if a woman did it, because of just the second layer, there's going to be something in it that makes it unrelatable to a certain demographic of the world. That's just how it is.
I can't rock with this argument. I can't.
I'm not gonna say to you that we don't live in a patriarchal society that inhibits like deeper exploration of the female perspective. I think that's definitely true, but I still think that it should, conscious female rap can transcend that barrier on its own virtue. I don't think the whole argument of like men don't want to get involved in women's lives is even relevant, to be honest.
I agree.
We'll agree to disagree.
We'll agree to disagree. Anyways, WAP out now on all the digital streaming platforms. I don't need your promo, man.
Cardi, oh my gosh, today, I think it was today, Cardi uploaded a video on Instagram. She was wearing a very interesting dress. I loved it. It was like bandanas, all that stuff together. She had like but she was talking about like, she was basically doing like an awareness video, like a PSA, to be like, if you're not doing so well down there, you might have to check out like who you're doing things with. I was like, you know what? Help the women. Find out why.
So she's doing like an educational thing.
I don't know how educational it was, but I'm sure some people will think and be like, maybe I should go see my doctor. Maybe I've got something like, or like maybe I've got BV. You guys know what BV is? That's what I mean by female perspective.
This is why I don't listen to those female rap songs.
What do you mean?
I think like encouraging women's health. That's important. That's good.
That's great. That's great.
Great. Yeah.
That's great. She should have done a song on that. That's conscious female rap.
Yeah. I mean, you want to.
Infections.
She
should have done a rap about yeast infections.
Listen, we need diversity in music. It's got to come from
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah.
That's
Things are
not
getting a
me.
little. Things
It's
are
got to be a
getting a little bit
trailblazer.
stale right now. So I
Yeah, it's
think that's
getting
good.
repetitive, man. Let's address yeast infections. If that's what we got to do, what, it's 2020.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Anyways, talking about checking on everything being okay. We recently got news on the TL from someone who is an interesting personality. They've been an interesting personality on Twitter for a while.
Yeah, I like Renee.
She's been checking on whether everything is okay, and clearly not everything is going great for her.
Yeah.
Who's this?
Renee.
Oh.
On any side. Oi.
Who?
She's another female rapper. She's trying to give us that conscious female rap.
Okay.
Big girls play with big toys. And out the middle.
Oh God.
I know you're up to date on this topic. You're clearly a big fan of.
Yeah, you're well versed.
Miss R.
I find Renee so entertaining, like genuinely. I feel like I stopped watching, like Love and Hip Hop and all that kind of stuff. Like I stopped watching all that, and I feel like I've replaced it with Miss R. Fabulous, Miss R. Fab. So basically, she went and had a BBL some time ago now. She had a few revisions, I believe. Things didn't go so well. So it didn't go so well the first time. And then she went and got it done again.
Paper over the cracks.
I can't remember where she went. It didn't really matter. It wasn't in the UK. It wasn't somewhere that you'd be like, my surgery's going to be 100.
Turkey.
And basically she's botched. So like she talks about it a lot, like on her Snap and stuff. But she kind of like made a TikTok, and she actually showed it. Like she showed the swelling that she gets.
It looks like there's a Lego, just attached to the back of her thigh. Like one giant really Lego, fam. It's crazy.
And apparently she's had a lot of she made a video about like her health complications in regards to this. So like she gets extremely fatigued. She starts to feel really, really sick. Yeah. Like it's not great. And she's just sharing. I thought it was lovely what she did. Like she's basically just saying to the young girls that will be seeing these Insta models and seeing all these people with these perfect bodies, and they've got BBLs and stuff. Like she's just saying don't do it. Like it's not worth it. And if you are gonna do it, make sure like save the actual P's. Like go and do like all the research.
Yeah, go to the certain guy. Yeah.
And do it. That's gonna give you like amazing aftercare and gonna make sure that you do like you're really well looked after. I think that's an amazing thing for her to do. She doesn't have to do that. Most of the time, like she looks great. Like when she puts on her clothes and stuff, she looks nice. So she doesn't need to like be doing. Thought it was really, really honourable of her. But basically, some like shade was thrown by some girl off Backchat, and they started having beef back and forth, obviously. And Renee's known for also like fighting people and being happy to defend herself. So they had their whole back and forth.
A literal street fighter. Street fighter.
Yeah. But now out of that, we have Ivorian Doll doing, Rumors, Body Bag, female rappers coming out.
Yeah, no, Ivorian Doll is actually doing her thing.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I personally...
What I don't know, what I find a bit fishy is how she just suddenly had like a record label deal out of nowhere.
Why is that fishy?
It was fishy to me.
But she'd done music before. She was doing songs before. People just weren't paying as much attention to it.
That's what I'm saying. Record labels don't give deals to people that no one's paying attention to.
But then all this stuff happened, and people started paying more attention to the songs she was making. Because basically, there's even more drama with her and this girl Abigail. So they used to like rap together.
Yeah.
Now Abigail got her own career. And obviously, Ivorian Doll's doing her thing. So there was all that beef. But they made songs together. So I'm sure, like, things People,
Anyways.
at the end of the day, she makes people talk.
Yeah.
So a record label, I could imagine that a record label would be like, yeah, like you're popular. People look to you. They want to see what you're doing and stuff. Yeah. So anyway, I think the wider conversation, because like we can speak on. There's no point speaking on the beef or whatever about
they'll
what
figure
Renee.
that out, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's more so what Renee was saying about BBLs and young people getting surgery. And I think I actually saw a tweet where someone was like, I can't believe like people like 19 and getting BBLs and shaving down their teeth to get veneers. And like,
it's actually crazy how much your teeth have to get shaved down to get them put in, you know.
Like,
They've
if
got
it's
you
not a
like
composite,
with these little
if it's not a composite, they
bangs.
have to.
Wow.
It's basic. It's a toothpick. It's like a nail. It's the most disgusting thing ever. I saw that Katie Price picture, and I was genuinely disgusted.
Yeah.
I was disgusted. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen that video of Kodak Black when he was getting his grills put in, and I don't know who, I think it might have been like, I don't know, in like Florida or whatever, maybe some like Dr. Miami shit. Like, there was a video of what his teeth actually looked like when he had the grills taken out.
Yeah.
And it's not even worth it. Like, I'd rather have my like yuck mouth than have my teeth looking like that just to get veneers. It's so messed up.
Mouth?
It's disgusting. Like yuck mouth. It's disgusting.
What's that?
What is that?
It's like it's an American saying a phrase. It's just like having a dirty mouth with fucked up teeth and all that.
Oh.
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah. all that surgery stuff, all those augmentations, those alterations, like, they seem too expensive. Like, the natural state, what your body looks like afterwards, I don't know. You need to like really weigh that up and balance it out, because like, it's disgusting.
Like, it obviously is difficult. Like, I can't imagine like teenage girls right now how they must feel about their bodies, because like, I think back to me when I was like 14, there was nothing to look at. Like, okay, so it's a thing of like, I can't imagine being 14 and looking at girls who have like altered their bodies and be like, I want to look like that when I'm 18. I don't look at like, at 24 years old, I don't look like what I looked like at 18. Like, my metabolism was extremely fast. So there was marker. There's nothing there. So like, you know, if at 18 I decide to get a BBL, right now I'll be oh my gosh, I'll be so large.
So
yeah,
wait,
you gotta wait for
BBL.
that like age to come in.
Yeah. I think people think about puberty and think that's it. So like, once you finish puberty, that's it. But your body still changes so much. Like, I've seen guys like guys will like start with their little beard here, and by the time they're like in their 30s, they're like here, and it's like, how? Why? Puberty's supposed to be over, but your body just changes.
Help me understand though, like BBLs, is it like, does it somehow alter your metabolic rate in some way?
No.
Or, what do you mean?
So the reason why I was saying that I would be large is my metabolism has slowed down like a lot, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
So for me, if I'd be like insecure and be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go and get a BBL at like 18 or whatever, I would have like moved fat. I don't know where I would have got the fat from, to be honest, but I would have moved fat into my ass, thighs, whatever, and then I would have as I got older, my metabolism would have slowed down, and because you've put fat cells in those places, like, you're gonna keep putting on weight in those areas, which could be cool, but also if your body is not actually like meant to naturally look like that, like, you just end up just looking a bit. Have you heard of Sajid Bartman? What's her name? Sajid Bartman. She was a South African woman that was stolen. She was stolen from South Africa and put into like.
I know who you're talking about.
Like, she can end up looking like her, mate. And there's a big bum, and then
huge. Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
It's true.
But
'Cause even
it's just really sad. But what in terms of like, it would be interesting to know from your perspective as guys, what do you guys think about the whole BBL surgery kind of realm? How do you feel like it affects guys?
the crazy thing is, yeah,
Hmm.
what I'm looking at is like the trickle down effect, right? Because obviously people at the top, so celebrities, whatever, they go and do these stuff, right?
Yeah,
And then it trickles down, becomes
yeah.
more accessible, and then normal people start doing it. And with guys, I know male celebrities are getting surgery done on their
Mm,
bodies, not just
mm.
their teeth. I can
Yeah.
name
Yeah.
Drake,
Like
Yeah.
implants.
Kanye
Do you
West.
think,
Yeah.
They've got surgery done.
what? How? Doing what? What is
Lipo,
Drake
they got
doing?
lipo done.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think Drake got some extra stuff done. Like he got like stuff put in his chest and like
Chest. Yeah. 'Cause sometimes you get the
yeah,
abs
the
put in as
augmented
well.
abs and all of
Yeah.
No,
that.
I've seen it, but why would Drake go and do that? Go to the gym. What?
Well, yeah, I mean you would,
The problem.
but then again, these guys are super busy. They're doing
Yeah.
tours. They're in the studio. They don't necessarily have the time to go gym. So when you have a lot of money, what do? You say, okay, I'll go get surgery, and then
And
hey, you're
obviously,
there.
as much as you see these guys with IG posts of the gym or IG
Oh,
posts in the gym,
that's just when they've left
for sure.
the surgery room.
Yeah.
That's a cover up story.
Yeah.
That's a cover
So
up post.
How do you guys know that Drake has got fake pecs?
Certain people who know have said.
yeah. So you know the way sometimes a trap might get leaked prematurely. Similar
Yeah.
to that, the information comes down to
It gets leaked. Yeah,
yeah.
Wow. Poor
it
Yeah.
Drake.
is what it is, man.
So finish your point, Josh.
My point is that trickle down effect from male celebrities hasn't necessarily gotten down to men in
Yeah.
general as much.
Yeah.
Which I think maybe a reason for that is because male celebrities aren't as open about the fact that they've got surgery done
Well,
on
there's
them.
one surgery that guys seem to be a little bit more open with, and I think more like normal guys do it. It's the hairline stuff. Like
Oh yeah, the hair, yeah. The hair thing is becoming big. The hair thing is
Yeah.
becoming big.
I mean,
Like,
A
I'm
lot of
I'm open.
footballers have gotten the hair thing.
yeah.
So I think, well, this is more in terms of like white people, but
Yeah.
also with black men as well, it's big as
Yeah.
well. But I know a lot of footballers have gotten the hair thing, so I think that's probably why that has. But I think it's all about acceptability, and
Yeah.
right
So
now it's
maybe
still
the
not
hair thing.
acceptable for a man to go and get lipo. That's just
Yeah.
still not acceptable. It's just
Yeah.
not.
So like I was actually gonna say just before. Admittedly, for me anyway, with the hair thing, I will get it done. My hairline's looking a bit shaky right now. I'm not afraid to admit that. And at the
Really?
point, yeah, and at
You're
the
getting
point
the
where,
M. You're getting the M.
yeah, I'm getting the M, and obviously I've got like a widow's peak as well, so it kind of accentuates it. And at the point where I feel like, all right, enough is enough, I will get it done.
But I feel like you look all right bald. Like just shave it off.
maybe actually, maybe I'll see.
Nah,
I'll see.
folks, don't listen to her. Don't listen to her.
What?
Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. Do what you have to do, fam, to stay in the game.
No.
Do what you
If
have
it
to
comes
do
to
to
that,
stay
if
in
it
the
comes to
game.
that, it will get done. All right. But like, yeah, no, the whole getting the hairline thing done is probably more acceptable than getting lipo because, like, the stigma behind getting
And I
lipo is
think,
like,
yeah, go on.
you're altering your body, like similar to the way I guess I don't know a female would do. That goes to the whole
Right.
masculinity thing, and it's like, why don't you just hit the gym, bro? Do you know what I mean?
Right.
That's probably
Because
the
whereas
same.
the hair loss thing is something that only happens to men, so it's seen like, oh, it's still a masculine type of
Yeah.
adjustment. Whereas lipo is like, bro, that's what women do.
I
because
think
that's
even
the
dealing with
association.
insecurity as a man is like a completely different thing. I feel like people expect women to be insecure, while with men, I feel like people don't expect guys to be insecure.
Yeah,
But
so societal expectations. Yeah, yeah. No, that's true.
Yeah, because let's be honest. Yeah, people talk about, oh, I chose to go and do this. I chose to do, but let's just all be honest. A lot of our choices are, even to some degree, more than 50% of our choices are not even our choice. If that makes sense, it's
Yeah, we
so
have a
much
lot.
influenced
Yeah,
by
humans
what
have a
is.
lot less autonomy than we think we do,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
It's
we
like
like to use the
crazy.
word, oh, I chose to do this and all of that, which makes us, I think, feel better inside. But the truth is, a lot of our choices is heavily influenced by not ourselves. And I think this is one area where that is abundantly clear. Because I'm not going to lie, after COVID, the belly that I've got, yeah, only God can intervene at this point. It's crazy because all my life, yeah. Well, I think like the first 2 years, I was like a little chubby baby. But after I crossed over into like 2 years old onwards, I've been like paper thin my whole life until I started going to the gym, right? And every time I would go to the gym, I could put on weight and whatever, blah, 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 blah. But let's say I took like a 2 week break, I would literally just shrivel all the way back. 2 weeks, just 2 weeks, right? So it was always a thing where I had to always stay in the gym. I could never like just take a break. And so yeah, I've been used to living my life with a really high metabolism, like really extremely high. COVID comes and my metabolism decided to take a break.
Yeah.
how old are you? Like 24,
25.
25? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
time. It's time
Yeah,
for
it
it.
is time. It is
It's
time.
time.
It was inevitable, but I was
Yeah,
getting away with it for so long. I just thought
yeah.
maybe my time will never come.
It's good though, because
Always
when you
catches
get
up.
back in the gym, when you start training again, you're gonna retain more muscle as well. Like you'll stay bigger.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we hope it goes that way. But right now, I've got like meat at the back of my neck that I've
Oh
never had there
gosh.
before. It's
Oh
crazy, bro.
gosh.
It's crazy. It's
Oh
crazy.
gosh.
It's crazy.
No, not like
Like
this.
I've got like
Oh,
steak right at the back of.
ah, he's got the Kanye West.
You can
Oh, the
slide a
flaps.
credit card through there, man.
Oh,
Oh, my God.
oh man.
But anyways,
It's
Now, have
alright.
we'll pray for what's her name? Um,
Renee.
Renee. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, what was her
Renee.
Yeah.
other name?
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah, are not so fabulous right now, but hopefully,
Please. You,
hopefully
Renee,
the
if you're
fabularity will come
listening,
back. The
you are
fabularity will
fabulous.
return.
Thank you for sharing your story. And I'm
Yeah,
sure a
she
lot of
done
young
well. She
girls
done
are
well.
thinking about that. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
good
The
on you,
exposure is
man.
good. Like you want to
Yeah,
keep people in the know. It's important.
Yeah, she
100%.
did well to be honest. Actually, she did well to be
Yeah.
honest. I have to give
That's
her credit
brave.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, you guys want to take a break? I want to take a break.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. We'll be back. All right, cool. We had to take a break, but we're back.
We're back. We're back. We're back.
Yes, we're back in the game. Now, there's been a recent. There's been a lot of cock-ups by this government since they've come in December. It's not that long of. It's not that
Yeah.
long. A time to make as many mistakes as they've made. But I think this one was a mistake that I think everybody could see coming. So, as we all know, we've been in the pandemic and schools have closed, right? And so exams weren't taken, but people still needed to get their results. And so they came up with this algorithm thing, Ofqual. I don't know if that's how you say their name. And they basically had to give people results based off. We can go into how they did it later, but they had to give people results, and they gave people results. and it was not good. But I remember, I think Scotland got theirs like 2 weeks ago or something like that, and they got it so badly wrong that the Prime Minister had to come out and apologise, Nicola Sturgeon. And as soon as that story came out, I was like, oh, if they've got it wrong in Scotland, yeah, they're definitely getting it wrong over here. And lo and behold, they messed up the whole thing. They said that about 40% of results were downgraded, which is nuts. And it seems like a lot of people feel very helpless at the situation. There is this talk of appeals, but I'm not really sure how that process is going to... How do you appeal not sitting in an exam and someone giving you a result? Like, I don't get how that appeal process is going to work.
Yeah.
I don't think they even know.
Yeah.
No.
I think it does feel like it's extremely unfair. It does feel like whatever has happened is extremely unfair. And it feels like people that are, you know, lower down on the social ladder have been worse affected from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Because apparently private schools have fared fairly well.
Yeah. That's what you would expect to happen. Like, I don't know what I think, I don't want to get all conspiracy theory or anything, but why is it the case that for students coming out of, like, I guess, struggling schools or whatever, they found it more so on that end, that the results, even taking into consideration predicted grades that were quite favorable, I've got it much worse than people in like private schools.
They didn't look at predicted grades. They looked at the last year's results, like over time, and then predicted people's results in accordance to that. And I think apparently it had also something to do with postcodes.
No, they did. Yeah. They did include predicted grades, but predicted grades was only a part of it. So what they would do is they would take your predicted grades. So let's say you got predicted AAA, right?
Yeah.
But then they would look at your school's track record for the last 2 years.
Is it to say like whether they've met their predicted grades over the past 2 years?
So what they would do is, so this is what they would do. They would, so let's say, so you know how we do mocks, right? We do mock exams. So they had done their mock exams this year that had just went through. So what they would do is they would take the results of the mock exams for this year and compare it to the results of the mock exams for the last 2 years or 3 years from the same school. Right? So then that's how they would say, okay, this year is generally worse than, or maybe in the middle of the 3 years before, right? And then they would take the actual results of the years before and say, okay, this is the results that these lot got in the years before. So now we have to apportion you a certain ratio of A's based on that, based on how well you performed in your mocks compared to how well they did in their mocks. Do you get it? Mm-hmm. So it's like we're trying to keep consistency with history.
Based on the location of the school, right?
No, not necessarily
based on the school
location
itself.
of school. Based on the school itself, how it's performed in previous years. And they were trying to keep the consistency of results, like how much proportion of A's and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. But the problem with that, obviously, is that it doesn't consider outstanding individuals. Yes, you're trying to keep consistency of the group.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
But then at the end of the day, how could they have possibly come up with a system that does fully consider the individual?
Use their predicted grades. That's it. I didn't understand what all of this was. Like, they changed the A-level system so that you do your first year is your first year and your second year is second, like kind of like uni or whatever, rather than having AS and an A-level, whatever, A2, what's it called? I don't know, whatever. So they've changed it up. So your whole first year, the exams at the end are your mock results. That's a whole year of work. That is definitely reflective of who you are, at least at some point in your life, who you are. What's the point? What is, if they already have results, you get into uni, like you apply to uni based on your predicted grades. It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, it does. I mean, a part of me agrees with you. Use the predicted grades. But then I remember my predicted grades compared to the grades I actually got. And then I'm like, wow. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a weird situation.
Did you get better predicted grades or did you get worse predicted grades?
My predicted grades were better than what I actually got.
Right. But do you feel like you could have got those grades?
Oh, yeah. They were certainly attainable, especially by the end of first year. I was on track by the end of my first year for what I was predicted. So in my mind, what I saw at the end of sixth form was a big shock to me. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't like I expected to underperform. I didn't expect that at all. So but it did happen. So that's the thing. Like expectations and reality are different.
Well, I feel like our predicted grades, though, in comparison to their predicted grades, are based on different things. Our predicted grades weren't just based on like our last exam. Like our teacher would also look at us and be like, but I think you could also do better because you're working really hard on this. So I'm just going to give you a B, or I'm just going to give you an A because I think, while like their predicted grades is based on their mocks and like the expectations of stuff that they have done, like that's different. That genuinely is. Like that's literally exams that they have done and the grades that they got. Base it on that because they do the same thing for the 2 years. Based it on their last exams. I don't understand it. They literally have written exams. Like, doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, but then I think some universities are deciding to bypass the results from the algorithm and just offer people based on the predicted grades.
They're going to lose out on money if they don't do that. No one's going to get into uni.
No, they said that this year the amount of people going to uni has gone up by 1.something%.
No, yeah. Do you know what I reckon?
So that's not necessarily a problem. 1.6%.
I reckon all the like dumb kids from private schools got into uni. Like I reckon that's what it was.
But isn't that how that always works?
Right. Yeah, they get into uni anyway.
They get into uni anyways.
Yeah.
They're not going to get into like Birmingham, Warwick. What else is a good uni that's not Oxbridge? I don't know. Nottingham, that's a good uni.
Exeter.
Leicester was.
Exeter, yeah. Durham.
Used to be top 20, not anymore. Where does Leicester sit now? Leicester. When we went to Leicester, 20. Not anymore.
Certainly not anymore.
Yeah, I don't even think it's top
after
50.
the Nella Rose generation.
Yeah, God, oh man.
What do you mean?
You know exactly what I mean. I
swear she did really well. Like you're talking about Nella.
No, I'm not talking about her. I'm not talking about her specifically.
Yeah,
I'm talking about people that came to uni to be influencers and to live a new life that they didn't live at home.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what people are doing?
There's a lot of people doing that.
I think that's what most people.
And all of those people got downgraded. I hope so. Only the serious people should get their correct results.
With that year in Leicester, I just remember the year below us being like bare excited, thinking that it was going to be lit, and it just wasn't lit, and they were just doing rubbish.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And do you know what? I saw a tweet basically, and someone said, "Oh, Warwick." What they said something about Warwick becoming like the place of black excellence, right?
Right.
And I was like, okay, yeah, I do know a lot of black people that are like because obviously Warwick is a good university.
Yeah, good.
I was like,
Yeah.
I do know a lot of black people that went there. And I tried to figure out, why is it that all the black people are going to Warwick? And then I realized it's the best of both worlds. You get to be in the Midlands, but you're still in an elite uni, right? And I was like, it makes sense. Because at first, I remember, like, I have older sisters, like, and they went to uni. And I don't remember Warwick ever being mentioned in, like, the conversation of unis. Like, never. I'd never heard of, I don't even think I'd heard of Warwick when I was applying for unis. It was like once I was in uni, that's when I started hearing of Warwick. So, I guess that's the Black Excellence Hub.
The ACS is really sick.
Yeah.
No. So I know a few people that went to Warwick. They were doing very well themselves. Yeah.
Shout out to Warwick. The government have messed it up again, and they're just gonna act like nothing happened again.
I think they're doing like reviews or something, but you have to. And apparently, the government's saying that they're gonna cover the cost of it because normally it would be like £100. But again, as you said, how can you review an exam that you didn't take? Doesn't make any sense. I was just like, either they should give people their predicted grades, or this year's a write-off. And let people do their exams like later on, and they're just going to be set back a year. Loads of people are set back in terms of what they were going to do in general, just in life.
I mean, not everyone would want to take that time though. So,
but that's the thing. Unis need their new intake of pupils. They need the money, the economy. A lot of cities, literal cities, depend on unis bringing people in. So it's a much bigger picture and mechanism going on here than this one little kid that didn't get A and got C instead. Even though it's unfair on the kid, but the system has to keep running.
People themselves over their A-level results.
Who?
People have themselves. Not this. I don't know about this, but like in general, like people A-level results are so serious. Like not getting into the uni that you wanted to go into. I saw people were crying on results day.
It's a real issue.
It's not that big of a deal.
I mean, in the grand scheme of life, it's not that big an issue.
No, it's not.
However, for a child who I don't know, maybe their parents pressure them a little bit, and you got to get into this uni, you better get into this uni. Like if something like this happens, it can be very, very hurtful, I guess. Like, yeah, man.
Like imagine
I think we need to fix that. Then I think like
that aside though,
because that's ridiculous for that much weight to be put on which particular uni you go to. Because I remember when I was going to uni, right? I thought that if you get into a certain uni, that's it. So like when I got because when I applied for uni, I put Loughborough first, I put Lancaster second, right, for accounting. And I remember the day I got my results, I saw UCAS. I checked UCAS before I went to school to pick up my results. So I got my offer from Loughborough, but they offered me politics instead of accounting. So I was like, like why? I applied for accounting. Then when I saw my results, I saw why they gave me an offer for politics instead of accounting. So then I was like, well, I don't want to study politics because I'm a black boy and I need to study a subject that like can actually give me a real job.
Yeah.
So I insisted on doing accounting, right? So I started scrambling with clearing, right? And I was like, I need to find somewhere that's going to let me do accounting. And then, long story short, I ended up going to Lancaster for accounting, and Lancaster needed the same grades as Loughborough.
Yeah.
It's a long story, but that's the short version. So anyways, in my head, because Lancaster was like top 10, whatever, blah, 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 I just thought, that's it, job done. Because you've got into the uni, that's it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what a lot of people have the mindset of, that it's like, get into the uni that determines everything. But it's far from it. It's far, 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 far from it. That's why I ended up eventually leaving Lancaster. So
yeah,
I think that sort of image of, oh, once you get into the uni, that's the end of the story, needs to be like, we need to actually make people understand that is not how the story works.
If I knew that where your uni, what uni you went to didn't matter, I would have gone to DMU. Not to say that DMU is like a terrible uni or whatever, but in comparison, the law exam, in comparison to the DMU law exam, I was so pissed off. I was genuinely so angry. Like,
what was their law exam?
Like, they had like open book, like I just remember, like, I must have gone to go and revise with a friend, and he had friends that like female friends that studied law. So I was like talking to them, and they were doing their practice papers, and I was like, oh, like, I'll do a practice paper with you, whatever. Like, I literally, like, I finished the thing like in half the time. And it's not, and to be honest, you're always gonna be judged in accordance to what you're like being graded against. So not to be like struggled with it or whatever, but it was just so irritating to me, because when I came out of university and everyone was just like, oh, you did law, that's great. Like, it didn't matter like what I did. It was more so like where I went. It was more so, oh, the degree you got and the grade
law, yeah.
So maybe I went to DMU and got a first instead of Leicester and got a 2-1.
Right.
Like, I mean,
I think there's still a lot of things that come along with even that go along with even trying to become a solicitor or a barrister or whatever. But like, I don't know if, I'm not sure that would have made that much of a difference, to be honest.
Maybe not, because I then would have been educated at DMU, and I probably would have still found the exam hard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. But I get what
well, no, that's another topic, because I remember I was talking to my sister, and I was saying to, she's little, she's like 16, 15, something like that, and I was trying to explain to her that going to a certain uni, right, sometimes going to a uni that's too advanced to you is actually not good for you.
Yeah.
Right. So we always talk about, oh, we want like to be in Oxford and Cambridge and stuff like that, but sometimes going into a place not even necessarily too advanced for you, but not for you, like not accustomed to you, can actually backfire. I think personally that's something that was the situation for me at Lancaster. Likewise. I feel like the way they did what they did over there wasn't good for me.
Yeah.
So sometimes we idolize going to the higher uni.
Yeah.
Because we think there's a certain solidified outcome that comes with it, but nah, it's not that straightforward. It's not that straightforward.
I think if you look at like intelligence and stuff, and different types of intelligence, you could say that the more like higher up unis will test you and grade you and teach you in a certain way that may not be compatible to you, while another university who's more used to like dealing with people that might find it a little bit harder to get certain things, that might need a little bit more support, will actually have you learning a lot easier and a lot better, because they're actually there to help you out. So I 100% agree with that.
Right, because I know that like I'm assuming we all went to state schools, right? And all through, even to the end of sixth form, they didn't really show, maybe this was just my school, but they didn't really show us how to independently learn, right? Whereas in a lot of private schools, even from secondary school, they're teaching you how to independently learn.
Like project work and doing,
So if you go into a uni like, say, Oxford, right, where they're expecting you to already know how to independently learn, like how to independently organize yourself to make sure you are on track, like not your teacher telling you where you're supposed to be, right? So someone like me from a state school where I didn't learn any of that, having to just spend time adjusting to that, on top of the fact that they're teaching you like at a higher level, that's gonna be like tough to grasp. So
I was literally having a similar conversation with my mum today about like uni and stuff, and she was saying that she was really scared for me to go to uni, and I was like, why? And she's like, I didn't feel like you're going to be able to handle the workload. I was like, what the heck, why? I obviously went to a public school, state school, whatever, and I always had tutors, always. My mum always paid for someone to help me always. So when we go to university, like all through A level as well, she was like, she's not going to do very well. Like she needs an extra explanation. She was right. My first year, I got a third. My second year, I got a 2-2. Like in terms of like the grades all matched up. And then in my third year, suddenly everything made sense, and all my grades were like first. And it didn't make any sense. But it was like it took me so long to figure out how to do this thing by myself.
No, I was the same, because when I was at Lancaster, I ended up doing better in my minor, which was economics, than my major, which was accounting. That's when I realized I'm not supposed to be here. Like, how am I doing better in my major than my minor, right? So I didn't take that year seriously. Moved to Leicester, and I did the same thing. I didn't take the year seriously, right? And I think I ended up with somewhere in like the 50s, right? Still didn't click. It was only till second year that, boom, everything clicked for me. And I think even a lot of that was a stroke of fortune and God's intervention, because I was still not, it was still looking shaky at the start. I wasn't like, I hadn't adjusted yet, right? And then second, and then final year was fine. I think I got a 2-1 in that year. So it's the same thing. It takes time. It actually takes time to adjust. And so imagine you're going there, you've been told you're smart your whole life, blah, 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 blah. You get into this school where people are more fine-tuned to that environment, right? And then you are not. And then it makes you think that you're dumb, right? Which makes you feel like you're not even bothered to put in the work, and then you fall further behind. Whereas if you went to, quote unquote, an ordinary university and they did things in a way that gave you the time to catch up and get to where you need to be, then you could end up possibly doing even better than if you go to a uni that was, quote unquote, out of your league. So anyways, all the best to all these sixth formers. Your life is not over if you didn't get the results you want, and your life is not made even if you did get the results you want. So just sit back, relax, see how it all plays out.
Uni is about learning about yourself, man. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that you're just learning about who you are and where your morals are and the boundaries. Like, I feel like I learned more about myself than I did about law. Like, I remember.
I mean, the whole thing is very much a learning experience. Like, you just don't learn about what you're being taught. You learn about yourself, life, everything in general.
How to balance work, what kind of learner you are, whether you cook for man without someone being your man. God.
I guess good luck to the GCSE students getting their results this week.
Mate, they're gonna get it the same.
They're gonna get shafted as well.
They need to start their fasting and praying from now.
What were you guys' GCSE results like?
Mine were okay. Mine were good.
Mine were, I think everybody's GCSEs were good. It was A levels where the rails got like
everything got shaky.
Everyone that I know has amazing GCSE results. GCSEs is like,
I feel like maybe mine were alright. In comparison to my sister, they definitely weren't. My sister's like a star child. She got like all A's and A stars. But I was a little bit more of a like A star, B, C, 1D, and then up and down. You know, like, did you guys used to like selectively study?
In A level, yes. I can't remember doing that in GCSE, but I know A level I had to.
Yeah, I did it in GCSE.
I only did that at uni. I don't think I did A level or GCSE.
No, following, you're right. At uni, I like really selectively studied. This is gambling, basically. This was pretty much gambling.
I was throwing dice. That
was pretty much gambling what we were doing in uni. A levels, you can call it selective studying, but no. Uni was and even that I had to be taught that. I didn't know how to do that.
Yeah.
I had to be taught that. Foles, do you remember in first year, right? Things was looking so bleak, right? We were in the basement at the library, and there was that girl who had made her room in the basement at the library. She had made a room for herself.
Yeah,
she was sleeping in there. The
the
security knew the library security knew she was there, and they weren't taking her out. She'd taken a room for herself, and she basically been studying in Leicester. Yeah. And she was studying law as well, right? And one of the people we were revising with, I think, knew her. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And we were like, we might have to go to her for some. It was like we were going to the juju man to get because we had like I think it was criminal law, right? We had like a criminal law exam like the very next day, and we were in dire straits. We were in the worst position you could possibly think. We didn't know anything, so we went there. We sat on the floor, right? We were like, "Madam, please."
Where were you guys, man? We were bossing it upstairs with criminal law. With like, we were.
Yeah. I don't know what it was.
Was it criminal? Or not criminal law. What was the one that we did in first year? The one about the criminal procedures, something.
Oh, I know.
Criminal justice system.
Criminal justice, yeah, blah blah. Yeah. Yeah.
That was my favorite topic. I love that topic. I feel like anything that's like more in theory and like a bit airy-fairy, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I think it just didn't take. It just didn't take in the first year, man.
I think we were trying to learn everything. That was the problem.
Yeah, that was the problem. Like we were literally trying to know everything and be prepared for every outcome. That's not possible. Like
it's not.
Was that the one with all the rules, like the golden rule?
Yeah.
And like all
No. It wasn't no golden rule.
What do you mean? Yeah, like the spirit of the law.
No, that's I can't remember.
Was that constitutional?
No, that was introduction to something law.
Huh?
That was like introduction to
legal reasoning.
Legal reasoning. That's it.
The fact that you guys remember these module names is blowing my mind.
I remember because they still haunt me to this day. Day.
Oh mate. Okay, cool. The Europa League semi-final starting in 9 minutes, so I have to go.
Let's do an outro though.
This the outro.
So we'll cut it. Wait, so you're gonna talk about the Europa
yeah, like
alright, okay.
The what?
Europa League.
I thought you said Yoruba, you know.
Oh my gosh.
Were you watching?
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know Cup of Nations or whatever it was. What is it? Cup of Nations? Is it Africa Cup of Nations? Anyway.
Europa.
Oh, Europa. Okay.
Yeah.
Why is it called Europa? Why isn't it just like Europe? Is it in a different language?
Because there's a real Europe. There's a real European league. It's called the Champions League. Europa League is like the second version of
Champions League was a European league. I thought the Champions
League used to be called the European Cup.
So what's the FA Cup? That's like just England. UK teams, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just England. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I'm trying to retain this knowledge. I really don't care. Okay, carry on.
So yeah, we're done.
Yeah. So we were the Windows podcast and blah blah. See you later. No?
Yeah, we need to get better at doing that, man. Like we need to figure out what specifically it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is what? The exit, the outro.
The intro and outro.
I don't
And we
feel
have
like
our
we need a
format.
set outro intro though.
I think
I
we
feel like
do.
people like that. Like it becomes like a thing.
It's a sense. It gives them a sense of familiarity.
Yeah. It's like there's a YouTuber that I watch. I know it's obviously slightly different because we want to do a podcast. But he's
Yeah.
like a skincare guy, and he like does a little shimmy at the beginning, and like I literally go like, oh.
Follow suit, right? Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of
Like,
podcasts tend to do the same thing. So, like, they'll
yeah,
introduce whatever they themselves or whatever it is in like a similar way, and it will just follow through, and you know what to expect. It's
yeah,
helpful.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Sure.
But we'll
That's
figure it
great.
out. We'll discuss.
Just don't care. Let's just say bye.
Yeah, let's say bye. Okay, let's do.
We
Hey,
are.
Windows podcast out.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
It's done. All right.